Bhante, how many yawns have we spent so far? And until the karma is over, beings don't die. The amount of tears we have shed is more than the great ocean. From the starting place to the ending place of river Ganges, can we count the number of sand, the sand particles? It's impossible. 100 sand particles, 1,000 sand particles, 100,000 sand particles, or 1 million? You can't count. In the same way, it's hard to find that we have spent so many number of yawns so far in past lives. Just as you can't count the number of sand from the beginning of river Ganges to the end of river Ganges. Can you imagine how much we have suffered so far? Namo Buddhaya, 𝘘-𝗺𝗶𝗹 𝙤𝙾. Now, you might be wondering how long we have been coming in this long journey of samsara. How many times we have been born and dead. Some might be wondering. And some people, they think, what's the beginning of this? Now, don't try to find a beginning. Why is it? There's another example for it. So suppose an arrow comes and hit me from nowhere. What should I do next? I should quickly get medicine, right? And then recover. And then go ahead with what I should do in life. So in the same way, now we have been born and we have to go through in life. So we have created ourselves in past lives, not someone else. It was our karma that led us to birth. It was because of clinging we accumulated karma, and through karma we were born, and then again we are accumulating karma to be born again. So there's a lot to learn about karma, about white karma, about dark karma, white and dark karma, neither white, neither dark. So only when we do neither white, neither dark, we will be free from this karma. So to do neither white and neither dark, we should follow the Noble Eightfold Path. So one day, since people are curious, just like you, beings, human beings, during the Buddha's time, were also curious how long we have been living in the past. For how long we have been living so far. How many yawns, the number of yawns. Isn't it curious to know? In this sutta, Ganga Sutta, those days the Blessed One was living at Veluvanarame. The Buddha was living in Squirrel's Park. There was a park where squirrels were given life in the city of Rajagaha. So one day, one Brahmin came to the Buddha and sat one side and asked, Bhante, how many yawns have we spent so far in past lives? How much we have passed so far? How many yawns? Then the Buddha said, Dear Brahmin, yawn is very long. What was the first answer? Yawn is very long. And also, it's hard to define. This number of yawns has been passed. 100 yawns or 1,000 yawns. It's hard to define the number of yawns we have passed so far. It is not an easy task, even for a Buddha. Then the Buddha explains, it's hard to define. Then this Brahmin asks, Bhante, can you at least explain with a simile, with an example? Brahmin, yes, it's possible. Have you seen Ganges, Ganganang river? Ganges, the river Ganges. Suppose, imagine there's a starting place where river Ganges starts. There's a place where river Ganges start. And then there's a place river Ganges connects to the ocean. There's a place where river Ganges starts. And also there's a place where river Ganges ends and get connected to the ocean. That's where the ending place. From the starting place to the ending place of river Ganges, can we count the number of sand, the sand particles? It's impossible. 100 sand particles, 1,000 sand particles, 100,000 sand particles, or 1 million? You can't count. In the same way, it's hard to find that we have spent so many number of yawns so far in past lives. Just as you can't count the number of sand from the beginning of river Ganges to the end of river Ganges. Can you imagine how much we have suffered so far? In the previous sermon, I said, if you become a stream entrant, a Sotapanna disciple, by following the path of this Dhamma, you will only have another maximum of 7 births. If you give an example for those 7 births, Buddha said, it's like the amount of suffering remain is 7 drops of water. How much? The amount of suffering remained is 7 drops of water. The amount of suffering we have ended is like the great ocean. The amount of suffering we have ended is like the great ocean. Therefore, remember, in another sutta, Buddha preaches, the name of this sutta is Assu. It's about tears. Buddha preaches in past lives when our mother passed away, the number of tears, the amount of tears we have shed is more than the great ocean. When our fathers passed away, not just one father, right? In each and every life we had a father. So when our father passed away, in each and every life, the amount of tears we have shed is more than the great ocean. Like that, our sisters, brothers, then like that, husband, wives. The amount of tears we have shed is more than the great ocean. And not only on occasions when they passed away, when we were separated from them as well. So if the amount of tears we have shed is like the great ocean in past lives, can you imagine the suffering we have gone through in past lives? Not only the mental suffering we have gone through. Didn't we lived in prisons? Weren't we punished by kings? There were punishments during king's time. They tie these hands to trees either sides and then they cut the trees. And they release hunting dogs for us to be bitten by them. And they tear these muscles. They tear these muscles until we die. We don't die soon. Then some are being tied to horse carriages and being driven through and fro. And until the 𝗘𝗺 is over, beings don't die. Beings are slaughtered. Arms are slaughtered. Legs are slaughtered. Arms are cut by executioners. Legs are cut. Like this, dear Dhamma friends, not only punishments, we got stuck in huge war, in battles. We were slaughtered, we were murdered in past lives. We were given poison in past lives. How about natural disasters? How much of natural disasters we have gone through in past lives? How much we have drawn in water and died without being unable to breathe? Just think about the tsunami. Just think about the other earthquakes. In past lives, weren't there earthquakes, natural disasters, vehicle accidents, falling from high-rise places? Think wisely. Don't get intoxicated with this little happiness we get in this human life, in this human world, just clothing and this beauty of this body and then the comfort by getting from another human being. Think about the danger that we have to go through in this long journey of samsara and try to put a full stop. By practicing qualities, by being virtuous, the secret is learn Dhamma again and again and meet monks. Come meet monks and then develop qualities under the guidance of monks and develop qualities, practice virtue and practice generosity and also practice stillness in your mind by practicing meditation, by knowing this danger of samsara, and may you gain the ultimate happiness and reach the ultimate bliss of Nibbana in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Namo Buddhaya, Theravada.